How are you?
I am well. How are you today?
I'm good.
Good. Where are you?
I'm actually calling you from Los Angeles today.
Okay. How is it in LA?
It's actually quite beautiful. I'm watching the sun come up right now.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, I've been kind of catching up on you on some fan sites.
Oh, yeah.
And my first question is just going to be, do you ever visit those?
From time to time, yeah. I mean, it's good to keep in touch, with your fans and things like that. And, obviously, the whole internet generation, that's kind of like where they live now, So, yeah, I pop in and check on people.
And how flattering is that for people to actually take the time to build a site around, in your mind, probably just little old me?
Yeah, that's it. It's flattering, but again, I feel like, everybody's passionate about something, it seems, and, that's one of the reasons, why I got into music is because I was so passionate about it, and I found my way to kind of, like, have an outlet for it, and, other people, if they feel strongly about an artist or about a song or something like that, they want their opinion heard too, and so that's how they do it.
And what about things like, I know you're big on MySpace, Facebook. Do you find that to be very positive too for your career?
You know what? I mean, I know everybody, is using it as a career tool at this point. I don't know. For me, it was just a matter of again, to stay in touch. It's great getting the feedback. Now, is it going to change my artistic view? Probably not. I have to listen to my heart when it comes to that stuff. But, there's always a way about getting it to the people, I guess, because, we're in the communication age, and so people want immediate feedback, and they want to at least know that you're working on something or what direction it's going, and you can tell them that way.
Yeah, we're on with Chasez. And now, do I say, following that, formerly of nsync, or is the band really over and done with forever?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? We're done. We told the world. It's a matter of we really, really enjoyed the experience we had. We were thankful for it every day, but at this point, we're all still friends and things like that, and I still talk to each one of the guys, but that part of our life is it's behind us.
All right, it's Mix 96.5, and we're on with Chasez. You're talking about music.
Mm-hmm.
What are you working on right now?
Well, right now I'm finishing up a project I've been working on for a little over a year. It's called The Story of Kate, or Kate, and I'm kind of like putting the finishing touches on it. I made a record that is the story of this character, and the story is in chronological order, and it's about the life of this person or your life with them at different times and things like that. And so I've kind of painted this picture with music, and at this point I'm looking to kind of push past that and to add other mediums to the project, because the day and age we live in, I just feel like the possibilities are endless. So I'm looking to take this chronological story in music and turn it into something more.
Interesting. Did you work with anybody? I know a lot of people are starting to reach out to other people. There's so much talent out there. And did you work with anybody we might?
I mean, I worked with some of the producers that I've worked with in the past and some new ones. I worked with my good friend Dallas Austin, who's, in my opinion, one of the most talented people out there. I also ended up working with my buddy Justin on a couple of tunes, and that kid's like taking over the world.
Who, that little Justin Timberlake fella?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's doing great. I ended up working with some really interesting people though along the way. This guy Jimmy Harry, David Maurice. Who else did I work with? I don't know. Just a bunch of folks, man. Who I find to be really, really interesting people and really talented people, and who understood what I was about. And so
let's touch on, and I hate to get into this, but it cannot be avoided.
Yeah, it can't be ignored.
Because you're in LA.
Yeah, I know it's coming.
And you're friends with Britney Spears.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta ask you, what are you thinking today when you wake up and you read this and you see this?
I haven't read the whole story,
okay.
Honestly. I got a text at whatever hour in the morning, and it was just kind of like, just as a heads up, some bad stuff happened to old girl again, and I was just kind of like, come on, man, not again. It's a shame, it really is. It kind of just makes you scratch your head. You don't know why people do things, but I don't know. It's just kind of like, no matter what people kind of tell her, until you choose to listen, I guess, nothing's going to set in.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us, when we hear people say it's sometimes tough to be a celebrity or to be famous because the paparazzi are so overwhelming, and they really are. If you see,
but it's not just that. It's a whole lot more than that, and that's the thing that people tend to maybe overlook a little bit. She's not. She's in a pretty unique situation. Like, people say, oh, she's rich and she's famous, so she should be able to, she should be thankful. And trust me, she is. We're all thankful for everything that we've been given on that aspect. We do our job and we're rewarded for our work. But some of it is quite invasive, and it changes your lifestyle from, you might have a nice car, but if you can't get your car out of the driveway, it's tough. And I really feel like she is one of the 5 most scrutinized people in the world. It's like she gets almost more press than these presidential candidates. She's not, she wasn't hired by the country to be an intellectual. She was hired by the world to be a singer, and a dancer. She's, so people are like kind of like scrutinizing her like she should be able to handle, quantum physics, and, she's singing, oh, baby, baby.
Right.
That's what made her famous. So it's like it really is a totally unique situation. So, I mean, who knows why people do what they do, and everybody handles certain situations differently. I'm not agreeing with the way she's handled everything, but I have to say there's a certain amount of understanding that people have to take a step back and look at the bigger picture and maybe try to understand why it's gone this way.
Okay, we are on with Chasez, formerly of nsync, and I think here we would say sometimes she welcomes that, but you're right. In the beginning, it's just spun out of control on both ends.
Of course, you want people. The reason why you want the attention is because you want people to pay attention to your music and to pay attention to what you do, to your dancing and everything like that. But then you're right; it goes above and beyond that, and it does. It starts to make life hard, and then all of a sudden, it's kind of like a snowball effect. If one thing happens, another thing unfolds. It's like, is it really her fault that somebody chose to take a picture of her crotch? No, it's not her fault. I think that's morally wrong. I think it's totally invasive for somebody to stick a camera down there in the first place. She was, so it's like I agree and I disagree with it. She catches a lot of heat for a lot of things that happen to a lot of people, but it's really scrutinized because it's her. She ends up marrying somebody that's not the forever person, but 60% of the United States does that. So but when it's her, oh, she can't hang on to a relationship and blah 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 blah. Well, 60% of the country, from what I'm led to believe, deals with that. But because it's her, it's like the worst thing ever. With other people, I mean, it's not a great thing, but at the same time, there's a bit of sympathy involved, and I just don't feel like people look at her the same way they look at everybody else when it comes to that sort of thing. And she's a human being, and human beings make mistakes,
I agree, and until we've walked a mile in their shoes.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question. There's a lot of privileges that come along with doing what she does and being her, but people tend to think that the good can outweigh the bad, and sometimes it does, and other times it doesn't.
Well, I appreciate you being so open about that. And we, of course, at this point, I'm thinking it's got to be the worst because this time the kids were involved. It was a hostage situation. And I'm hoping now.
There's no doubt that it's a volatile situation, at this point. But it's being talked about from a certain point of view. And we don't know what pushed her to that point, Nobody knows really what happened inside the walls of that house. And so, again, who knows? But I do know that, obviously, anytime, somebody has to take you out of your home in an ambulance, it's not good.
It's not good. So we hope and we pray that this may be a turning point.
Somebody in this finds some resolution, and somebody, maybe the light goes off to try and start moving forward in a positive way. That's the only thing you can hope at this point. It's something positive, as dark as it is, something positive comes out of it, whether it's somebody taking taking the first step into, making their life better or making the right decisions. That's what you hope for.
Well, come next week, I'm hoping that's what I'm reporting on. So,
Yeah.
JC Chasez, thank you. You have been wonderful.
Thank you very much.
We look forward to the new music as well.